This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 180. Do you rule with claws and teeth? Try leading with engagement instead, by Comaford of SmartTribesInstitute.com. And I'm Dan, I'm your narrator here. Welcome to Optimal Startup Daily, where I read to you every single day of the week from some of the best blogs on entrepreneurship. And for now, let's get right to our post from Christine as we start optimizing your life. Do you rule with claws and teeth? Try leading with engagement instead, by Christine Comaford of SmartTribesInstitute.com. We all know that influencing by authority, by command and control, is out. Influencing by engaging and enrolling is in. Yet too many leaders still rule with claws and teeth rather than cropping grass alongside their herd and nudging them in the right direction. What about you? Are you helping employees envision an exciting future? Or are you sending their innovative brains scurrying for cover? Influence, the kind great leaders possess, isn't about how many people you can tell what to do. It's about how many people you can understand, empower, and motivate. Have you ever watched someone dive into self-defeating behavior? You can see clearly what needs to shift, but it seems like the more you say or do to try to help, the less effect you have. Why? The person does not feel safe enough to hear you. You're not building rapport with her. Rapport is that state of connection where our critter brain, focused on survival and constantly scanning for threats, is peering out and coding if you're friend or foe. A person in the critter state is determining who is similar to me and thus safe. Imagine we're antelopes out on the savannah. The critter brain is relaxed because it has scanned the environment and decided it's with other antelopes and not with lions. Yep, only us antelopes out here. Once we've established this feeling of safety, and have access to the prefrontal cortex, we're in our smart state, capable of making plans and initiating positive change. To change or shift or accept feedback, there has to be a pre-existent condition of rapport between two people. Otherwise, the brain will be too busy ensuring its survival to accept any other solution, no matter how elegant, right, logical, or plain old commonsensical it may seem to the rest of us. When you're the boss, you're naturally different, which your team's critter brains will interpret as a threat. Your relative authority makes you a lion among a herd of antelopes. It's your default setting. But you can change it. Just another antelope? Mirroring develops rapport. To be coded as just another antelope, you must convince your employees' brains to see you as similar to me. Mirroring helps. Mirroring is primal and instinctual. Try making a funny face at a baby. Most babies will imitate it right back at you. You see the same thing with friends. It's particularly noticeable with groups of teens. As they explore their own identities as different from their parents, they imitate one another's hand gestures, clothing, facial expressions, and lingo in order to feel a sense of belonging. Likewise, you can use mirroring to make your team's critter brains feel safe, enabling you to engage and empower them so they can do their best work. Once someone's fight or flight instincts are no longer at the forefront, they'll be more willing to accept you, listen to you, and work with you. 4 ways to develop rapport through mirroring. Chances are you do a lot of rapport building practices naturally. Here are some you might either recognize or want to add to your repertoire. 1. Physical body. This is about mirroring posture and full body position. If you're in a meeting with a person who is leaning back and has his arms crossed, you adopt this posture too. If he's leaning forward, you do the same. When you do this kind of mirroring, you're subtly letting the other person know that you're similar, that you've got things in common. The tricky part is to do it authentically. If you're able to tap into what he or she is feeling, you'll find that posture and gesture mirroring is surprisingly easy. 2. Vocal analog. This is matching someone's tone, pace, pitch, volume, phrasing, and breathing. It sounds easy, but it's hard to pull this off and still come across as authentic. If someone sounds like Betty Boop or has a foreign accent, for example, trying to match her tone would sound bizarre and inappropriate. But matching volume, pace, phrasing, and breathing is easy and effective. 3. Keywords and gestures. I'm sure you've been in a conversation where the person you were talking with used a common phrase like, "We've got to go the extra mile." Within a few seconds, you likely found yourself using that same or a similar phrase. You were subconsciously showing the other person that you agreed, you understood, and they were safe with you. And 4, sensory systems. This is the primary sense that a person uses to access the world. The three most common sensory systems are visual, kinesthetic, or touch, and auditory, or hearing. How can you tell someone's predominant sense? First, listen to her words and phrases. If she often talks about long-term vision and says, "I see where you're going," there's a good chance her primary sensory system is visual. If she talks about needing to get my arms around this or frequently touches you, her primary sensory system is probably kinesthetic. If she asks, "Does that resonate with you?" or frequently says, "I hear what you're saying," then auditory is her primary sensory system. Listen carefully, though. Many of us mix sensory systems in our communication. To create rapport, use words indicating the same kinds of sensory systems. Manipulation or stepping into someone's world. When I teach rapport, I'm often asked, "Isn't that kind of slimy? If you mirror and match, aren't you being manipulative?" The answer is related to your intention. Are you using these techniques to respectfully understand another's mindset, to create safety? Once you have rapport, will you use it to empower others, building everyone's influence? Or will you use it only to further your own self-interest with command and control? When done with pure intentions, the result of building rapport is the end, or at least the dramatic reduction, of challenging behaviors, limiting beliefs, and emotional disengagement. The business result is increased accountability, proactivity, commitment, and performance. Isn't it time to put the claws and teeth away? You just listened to the post titled, "Do You Rule with Claws and Teeth? Try Leading with Engagement Instead," by Christine Comaford of SmartTribesInstitute.com. The online world seems to be getting scarier and scarier, with more people and companies being able to access your data. A VPN service provides you a secure, encrypted tunnel for online traffic to flow, so no one can get their hands on your internet data. Perfect if you're looking for peace of mind when using public Wi-Fi, like when in an airport or a coffee shop, or when accessing personal and work accounts on the road. And NordVPN is doing just that, now serving more than 14 million people worldwide. They have super fast servers, over 5,200 in 59 countries, no data logging, and 24/7 customer support through live chat and email. NordVPN is compatible with most operating systems, including Windows, macOS, iOS, Android, and more. And they give you unlimited bandwidth with double data encryption for increased anonymity, all with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And for NordVPN's birthday, every purchase of a 2-year plan will get you 1 additional month free and a surprise gift. Go to nordvpn.com/OSD and use code OSD. That's nordvpn.com/OSD and code OSD. And a big thank you to Christine. She is a leadership and culture coach, serial entrepreneur, and New York Times bestselling author of 3 books, Power Your Tribe, Smart Tribes, and Rules for Renegades. For over 30 years now, she's helped leaders navigate growth and change by specializing in applied neuroscience, which helps her clients achieve tremendous results in record time. As an entrepreneur, she built and sold 5 companies with an average ROI of 700%, and she was a software engineer in the early days of Microsoft and Apple. Come by SmartTribesInstitute.com to learn a lot more and check out all of their resources, and I do have that linked in this episode's description, as well as at oldpodcast.com. But that does it for today here on Optimal Startup Daily. Hope you have a happy Monday and that your week's off to a good start. Also a happy Holi if you're celebrating the festival of spring and colors. So thanks again for being here, and I'll see you again tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.